So a lot of the folks that people might have thought were top contenders are dropping out. Some, in the case of Anita, Anand, announcing that they are not running at all for re-election. What's the latest, Colton?
That's right, Marcia. Some big changes. And really, I think, crucially here, we're still waiting to see whether or not there will even be a cabinet minister in this race. Don't forget, Chrystia Freeland left cabinet before this. And so there is still some opportunities, some maybes from that. We're expecting to hear from Industry Minister François-Philippe Champagne tomorrow as to whether or not he is in or out. Other maybes include Jonathan Wilkinson and Karina Gould. But slowly but surely, we're seeing cabinet ministers announce they won't be taking part in this. And really, the headlines for the Liberals have become who is taking part in this. You mentioned Mark Carney. We're expecting him to announce this week that he's going to be involved in this. That's obviously going to be the biggest addition to the list of available and confirmed candidates at this point in time. It's just a former Liberal MP in Frank Baylis from Montreal and the current Liberal MP in Chandra Arya. But we haven't seen any of the main three frontrunners really push in to join this race. We're waiting for confirmation from Chrystia Freeland on whether or not she's going to join and when we might hear that. We're waiting still on Christy Clark. Of course, she had to stumble over the weekend with whether or not she was a Conservative member or not. I was talking to Liberal MPs who say they still think Clark can recover from that and mount a strong campaign, but it's really going to it's going to have to happen soon to see these people join in, because we've only got 10 days before the deadline that you have to declare by.
So, talk to us about the timeline then. How's this going to play out between now and the first, or I guess second week of March, Colton?
Yeah, so first off, January 23rd, that's when candidates have to declare by. That's when we're going to know what the slate looks like. That's when we're going to know who is actually in this race, who's not in this race. Will there be a francophone? Will there be a cabinet minister? That's the first big date that people can watch for and be paying attention to. If you want to vote in this race, if you're a Liberal Party member or you want to become a Liberal Party member, January 27th is the cutoff to be able to do that, and then you will have until March 9th to be able to vote. Most of the rules in this leadership race have been built up. There are still a few that need to come out. They have to come out at least 27 days before March 9th as far as like the actual voting rules go. So people will have at least about a month to be able to get their votes in. And then come March 9th, that's when voting concludes. Shortly after that, we're going to have a much clearer picture of where this Liberal Party is headed, what direction it's going to take as it goes into the next the election cycle, because March 9th is that final day for votes to take place, and we'll have a name of the interim leader and the new Prime Minister shortly after that.
All right, Colton, thanks for that update from Ottawa.